What's up, everyone? Today is August 12th, 2025, and we're going to look at a little portfolio update, touch on margin, instant deposit limits, and I'll show you how to sell a put. So first of all, let's just get a bird's eye view of the portfolio. Last video was around $20,000 I was investing. I recently did a deposit into the account, so now it's around $22,000. And what I like about Robinhood's charts is even though I deposited about $2,000, that doesn't mean that see that percentage up here, that doesn't mean that I gained $2,000 like a percentage. It automatically calculates it for you if you've made like actual gains or losses. So it doesn't matter if you put money into the account or money out. This chart is only going to reflect your actual gains and losses. So bird's eye view up slightly today, even though this chart looks like it's spiked up. It's only 0.61%, so it's pretty much flat. For the past week, up almost 2%. That's good. 1 month, about 2%. 3 months. And year to date, 5%. Which is good. That's pretty much typical for how your portfolio would perform if you were, say, only investing in like the S&P 500 ETF. So pretty typical. See here, buying power. Last video is around like $500 in the account with money I could spend, but I had a little yellow warning triangle telling me that I was at high risk of a margin call. But after I did my instant deposit, that little triangle went away. So we can click on this buying power, and it shows me your cash, how much margin total you have, money set aside for options collateral, and then the final total, what you have left over to invest, do whatever you want with. So margin status, this did say high risk, now it says low risk, since I have 11% buffer. And if you click on explore your margin, and it gave it a little nice little chart there, portfolio value, how much buffer you have, and some more info on your margin, interest rates, and stuff like that. But I do want to sell a put today, so we might just go back into the high risk region again soon here. So I'll back out of that. And talking about depositing funds, so I looked up, Robinhood has this instant deposit where if you deposit money, it does take a few days for that money to actually transfer from your bank to your account, but they do let you invest with some of that money right away. So for example, if you had a small account, which is considered $1,000 or less, or less than $1,000, then if you had a regular small account and you did an instant deposit, you transferred like say $100 from your bank into your Robinhood account, they'll allow you to immediately spend $100 to invest in something. If you had more than $1,000, if you had more than $1,000, they'll allow you either up to $1,000 limit or up to 2 times your account portfolio. So if you had $5,000 in your account, and they could allow you twice that if you wanted to. You could deposit like 10 grand and you could access that money right away for spending. So that's for regular accounts. And this is all individual investing, like what you see here. Now, if you had a gold account, if you pay for gold and you had a small account less than $1,000, you could get an instant deposit up to $5,000. Or if you had a large gold account, which is more than $1,000, you could get up to $5,000 or 3 times your account value, whichever is greater. So in this case, my account's about $20,000 times 3. Robinhood could allow me to deposit up to $60,000 and get instant access to that. Of course, you have to have that amount in your bank account, and then you can spend from that money right away. But you do have to make sure that money's in your bank account for it to complete the transfer in several days. And those limits apply to the individual account. If you had like an IRA, the limit's $1,000 regardless of whatever kind of account you have. Okay. And of course, that amount you have instant access to might change a little bit depending on if you already did a recent instant deposit like yesterday or the day before and it still needs to settle, or you have it applying to certain trades, pending trades, or maybe there are some reversals, kind of like a bounce check kind of deal, then Robinhood's going to say like, oh, this person's being a little riskier profile, they're bouncing checks, we don't trust them with money for this instant deposit, so they're going to limit you. But this is applying to, regular trusted accounts. So I think it's pretty cool. One of my favorite things, instant deposits, because if you see a deal and you really want to get in on it, you can instantly get access to that money while behind the scenes, the actual money takes a little bit to get into your account. So yeah, that's one of the perks of gold, is that you get a higher instant deposit limit. Okay, so anyway, let's look at selling a put. Here are my options so far. And these are expiring in a couple days, so I wanted to see if I could sell a put on one of these before expiration. Let's get another one in there. So let's look at YMAG. Let's see if it'll let me go into here. Alright, so if you click on the symbol, Yield Max Magnificent 7 Fund of Option Income ETFs. Past week, it's been going up. We're at $15.77. And you can hold down your finger here and trace along the chart to see how it's been performing. Lowest dip was around 15 bucks. Oh, we're almost going up to 16. Okay, so we're going to click on trade options, and we'll go for August 15th. We want to sell a put, and let's see, I already have one out for $16. Let's just click on $15 just to see what this looks like. Alright, so last trade was for 5 cents. There is some volume, there is some open interest. Pretty much a safe bet here, all things considered. So let's just try it. Let's click sell. 1.05. And let's click review. I like how it gives you a little summary of what's going on here. So if this executes, I get $5, but if this ETF drops below $15, I'll be forced to buy 100 shares of it, and that's how that option contract works. So let's just see if anyone accepts this. Swipe up. Order pending, order placed, and that's how you do that. Okay, and you can see my buying power drop down. And if anyone's biting today for that contract, then it will execute, but right now it hasn't executed yet. But if it does, then that means that we bought that option. But I think last time I tried this, I had trouble with the option going through. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to replace this order. We'll click on that. And sometimes it takes a minute to execute, but honestly, I don't think it will. Let's replace order. I actually want to move that strike price up. So what I will do is cancel the order. Let's go back to options, selling a put. I feel like the $16 strike price would execute, so let's try that. This one has some volume, has some open interest. Last trade was at 40 cents. So we could put it in for either 35 cents or 40 cents and it might execute for us. So let's click 1.40 tells me low fill likelihood. So it might not go through. But we could always try it. We could always try with the higher limit price first, see what happens. Let's click review. Okay. And I can see up here at the top, I have about $1,800 available. The collateral is $1,600. Since that's less, it's going to let me go ahead and push this through. Let's see what happens. So we got pending, placed. It's not filled yet, so it might take a minute. I'm going to pause the video, wait a few minutes, and then let's see if it executes. If it doesn't execute, I'm willing to bring it from 40 cents down to 35 cents a contract. Okay, and we're back. So I gave it a few minutes to see if that put sell would go through. It has not. So we're going to replace it. So I click on this and hit replace order. This time for 35 cents instead of 40 cents. You see now it says high fill likelihood. We'll click review and submit. Pending, filled. Okay. So pretty much filled right away. I received about 35 bucks because that's 35 cents times 100 shares minus the fees. And so that gives me another contract. I already had a contract out for this, so now we have two contracts altogether. And that's how you sell a put. Pretty easy. Click done. Go back to that home page, so now you can see I have two sells for that YMAG $16 put. It's expiring in a couple days. And there's that little yellow triangle again, warning me that my margin status changed from low risk to high risk. But that's okay, because none of my positions can actually move against me so much that I would end up paying more money into the account to cover them. None of them are set up that way, so I'm not worried about that. And that's how you sell a put. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and consider subscribing. It'll help this channel grow. Thanks for watching.